eventually they lead to pain, because the amount of time you're taking them, maybe you're not brushing your teeth properly, so you'll notice that with time you start feeling sensitivity when you're taking sweet stuff, or maybe cold drinks or hot drinks. You start feeling funny in your mouth, and then that maybe progresses to pain. When you're taking food or when you're taking sweets, you feel like, now this thing is actually painful. Then maybe it progresses to excruciating pain, whereby your head, you're having migraines, you can't sleep, it's just complicated. So food is important. What you eat is important. So you have to watch what you eat, because that's how tooth decay starts. That's how all these other issues start in your mouth. So watch what you eat. That's number one.
All right.
Number two, oral hygiene habits. Luanen, how many times do you brush your teeth? Twice. Do you floss?
No.
All right. Or maybe do you use a tongue scrub when you're brushing your teeth?
Tongue scrub. I have a toothbrush. Do I need it? What's the tongue scrub?
All right. So I think that's already, you've noticed the three aspects we're going to talk about hygiene.
A tongue what?
Yes, a tongue
scrubber.
tongue scrubber.
Okay.
All right. So it's important to understand that when you're brushing 2 times a day, we're saying in the morning, right? And then at night before going to bed. The time that's very important to brush your teeth is before going to bed, because that you'll be sleeping for 5 to 8 hours, so your mouth will be closed for the longest time, right? And then also flossing. You need to floss every day. And then you scrub your tongue. So basically, I'm introducing something that's already been there. You need a night oral routine. Ladies, we have a skincare routine at night.
Yes.
You need a night oral routine. Yes. And then, last but not least, visit your dentist every 6 months. Never let the year go by without visiting your dentist.
All right.
If you feel something in your mouth, even since something small, like something's wrong, just go and visit your dentist. We can save your tooth before we have to remove it.
Right. So before we get to the next point, we're going to go through some questions here. But before we get to some the questions that are there, I'll go on your point number 1. You talked about the importance of what you eat, and then you talked about caffeinated, carbonated drinks, and then you also talked about chocolate, sweets, and whatnot. Does this mean that one has to totally cut these off, or there's a certain limit to how much you take in?
Like I mentioned before, it's about the frequency, amount of time you're taking it. It is if you take once in a while, and after taking it, drink water.
Okay.
It reduces because what happens is when you're taking, for example, sticky sweets, they'll stay when you're biting, right? They get attached to your tooth.
Yes.
They stay there. So now when they stay there, the acidity level in your mouth increases, and it creates a good environment for the bacteria to feed on the food and start causing tooth decay. So that's what we're trying to avoid.
Right.
So frequency.
And then Lewe was shocked about a tongue scrub.
Yes.
I know there are toothbrushes that have the scrub.
Yes.
At the back of the of the brush. So that's a tongue scrub. There's probably somebody who doesn't know. So yeah, that's a tongue scrub. So after you brush your teeth, you turn your toothbrush and scrub your tongue.
That's if it has a tongue scrub.
It's
But you
very
can
important
buy one.
to
Yes.
buy a toothbrush that has one.
That's true.
Right, let's get into some questions here before we get into your next point. It says, what exactly happens during root canal?
All right. So root canal, let me simplify it.
Okay.
Basically, root canal, we are killing your tooth, but we're keeping it in the
That's
mouth.
a very strong word.
All right, fine. We're not killing. Okay, let me not use. But basically, we're removing the pain. Because what
Okay.
happens, a tooth has 3 layers, right?
All right.
So you see the white layer on top, that's enamel, and then followed by dentine, and then the pulp where the nerves are. So what it means is that the infection has reached where the pulp is. That's why
Okay.
most people, they have that excruciating pain, especially when they're going to bed. So what we do is we drill into the tooth. We remove all the decay. We remove all the decay. Then we go and reach the pulp and expose it. So when we expose the pulp, we now remove all the nerves inside the tooth. So when we've removed the nerves, that means this tooth has no blood supply, has no nerve supply to it. It's no longer painful. After that step, we fill in from the roots up to the top, the crown, and then we put a filling, and it's done. That's the treatment. So basically, it's a dead tooth in your mouth.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. This one says, how do I get rid of plaque in the absence of mouthwash, or what foods should I avoid to reduce the plaque?
Well, plaque, everyone has plaque, whether we brush our teeth all the time. That's why then we recommend that you visit the dentist every 6 months. Because what happens is, yes, you're brushing your teeth within, you've cut the 24-hour cycle where the plaque is produced, but over time, you need the dentist, when we're doing that cleaning, if you've noticed, we have this scaling tips that we use.
Yes.
Those then remove the plaque from the tooth surface.
Okay.
Because in some cases, we all have different brushing techniques. Not everyone is using the right brushing technique, right? So we might not be brushing our teeth properly. So plaque will develop. There is no way of like running away from it. We just have to visit your dentist every 6 months.
Right, so I'm going to take 2 more questions here. This one says, hi guys, ndakufunza kuna dentist ndakafilwa zino but rakurwadza zvinoitika here o pane zvakakanganiswa uye rinoda kuitwa sei kana richirwadza kudai izino repa front.
Okay, zvinoitika kazhinji, if you don't mind, I'll answer in Shona. Zvinoitika kazhinji after paitwa feeling.
Yes.
And we maybe, number one, I'll put on the patient. Mazina askugezwa zvakanaka. We're back to those sweets and carbonated zvatachitaura zviya.
Yes.
So there's decay that develops under the feeling. So when decay starts again, now since tambobvisa malaya ayangachataura, it means this decay is getting closer to where the pulp is. That's when now you start feeling pain. So those, we call them secondary caries. Aninga, it's a secondary decay after feeling yaita. So most probably they need to visit their dentist and get that checked. They might be having other tooth decay under that feeling.
Right, so one more question. It says, morning DJ and doctor, I have a problem with my teeth on the left side. When I suck through them, sometimes I can smell blood. Sometimes it causes discomfort in my mouth.
All right. Then okay, there's a lot of unanswered questions there. But most probably when they're sucking, they might be having a fracture or a hole. Cavity on that tooth.
All right.
So now the question becomes, which tooth is it? Where is it positioned? Is there a gum that's overlapping? There's so many questions that come into play. But my advice is just visit your dentist so that you know exactly what's happening. Because it's a 1 hour lecture to go to that point.
Trying to find the root cause. All right. So it is Wellness Wednesday right here on Star FM, the Morning Galaxy Mid-Morning Cruise into the stars, into the galaxy. My name is DJ Eve, and of course in the studio I've got Dr. Kudzai Petra Phiri. She's a dentist and she's also holds a diploma in food and nutrition, among other academic achievements. So we're talking about, our topic is very interesting today. How to be a happy mouth, how to have a happy mouth. So before we started taking your questions, we talked about how you can improve on your oral health, and of course keep those questions coming. So why should I visit the dentist? When the pain stops after taking over-the-counter meds.
All right. So what happens is when you're taking meds, it deals with the symptom.
Okay.
It's not dealing with the root cause of that pain. So when they're sitting on the dental chair, the past 3 years, but now it's just painful. Just take it out. And it's because that when they were taking those pills, it wasn't dealing with the root cause. So my response is always the same. Kuti, never wait for the pain to become unbearable. It's best kutujoni you come to the dentist. When you come earlier, we're able to save that tooth. Just the root stems, we just have to take it out. But it's best we come early to the dentist. And also, I want to take away the myth ya kuti mshonga wezi no kuri visa. That is a myth.
I think that's why most people are scared to go see a dentist. Because always thinking I'm going to lose my tooth.
Yes. Yeah, so it's a myth. We become a toothless community. And even no jigase nyama yako. My bride, I'm not there for Christmas. And here once in a while you want to party. So just a food for thought. It's important to go to visit the dentist early.
Okay.
Yes.
Right, so we're gonna go on a quick music break, and when we come back, we're gonna be taking some more of your questions. If you've got any questions that are dental related, well, we've got a dentist in the building today, and her name is Dr. Kuzai Petra Phiri. So feel free to ask us questions on 0772 162 651. That's on 0772 162 651.
Really good music.
They're absolutely amazing. Woo! Great time.
We love it.
It plays all my favorite songs.
It's my favorite.
The ultimate radio experience.
Turn up loud.
Star FM, sounding good all the time.
Wayne Beats and Wayne Beats Malomo here. The song called Wakandite. 23 minutes before midday. At midday, I step down, make way for the TXO team. They're gonna be with you from midday down to 3.
And the ZV, when you're feeling like this, and the Goni, better gonna weeks, wanna baby, ayy. 1984, thought I had a time for love, but they didn't, I go on now. Moyo wangu wakatora, da, baby. Made up my mind and you you keep sending your love my way. Sacrifice, so let me come through. Check on my 1, 2. Made up my mind and need you keep sending your love my way.
Wayne Beats Malomo, song called Wakandite. It is 20 minutes before midday. So we're in Wellness Wednesday segment with a radio doctor, a doctor that answers questions from listeners. And also in the building today, her name is Dr. Kuzai Petra Phiri. She's a dentist. So we're talking everything dental today. And if you've got any questions about what we're talking about, do feel free to hit us up on WhatsApp. That's on 0772 162 651, 0772 162 651. So we're gonna take a few questions here. Actually, it's not a few. We've got a lot of questions. Right, let me see who's here. This one says, hi DJ Even Doctor, I had a scaling and polishing on my teeth and chewing solid foods after the procedure was so painful, like for 3 days. Is this normal? Because ndakutoshka kwenda for the visits again.
Okay, that's pretty normal. But is it really painful or it's sensitivity? That could be a question. Because what happens is after you've got your teeth cleaned or scaled,
Yes.
Because we've removed the top layer that's been there, most people, if you notice, their gums, they kind of go down because of the dirt that's around their teeth. So when all that dirt has been removed, the root part is exposed. your tooth is kind of exposed and trying to adjust to the new norm. So maybe when you're eating, when you're drinking water for the first
becomes a
maybe
bit
3 days,
sensitive.
it becomes very sensitive, which is a
Okay.
normal. At least if it's within 2 weeks, if it's happened within 2 weeks, we call that it's normal. But if it continues after 2 weeks, then something will definitely be wrong. They'll have to come back in for another checkup.
All right, dear listener, I hope you were answered. This one says, "Hi doc, I had a toothache and then was given a peroxide-based whitener by a friend, saying it helps with a potential infection. Now my teeth are super sensitive and I have swollen, painful gums. How do I fix this? Dentistry is super expensive in the UK."
This is sad. Because peroxide, without the dentist doing or putting it on your tooth, is very, very dangerous.
Oh,
It's dangerous. That's why someone who's doing tooth whitening, I see the dentist, I always put question mark, because people don't understand the concentrations they need to use. Because what happens is, usually peroxide, that's why it's used mostly for tooth whitening. But for pain, when you're using that for pain, it's you can't do it alone. Yes, I understand. Yes, dental care could be expensive, but sometimes some of the things we do on ourselves, we just exacerbate the whole situation. Because had you just gone to a dentist or maybe taken an over-the-counter drug, it would have been much better. Because now the peroxide would put the tooth in a worse situation. So my advice is, I know yes, it's expensive, but just visit your dentist to see what's going on.
alrighty. Then this one says, I know you did say that, especially when you drink tea, coffees, and whatnot, it's always important to drink water straight after. This one says, is it healthy to drink cold water after drinking tea? By cold, I'm assuming maybe it's from the
Extremely
fridge.
cold,
It's
from
not
the
a room
fridge.
temperature thing, but yeah.
Normally, in general, we don't advise to drink extremely cold water because it's
Okay.
not good for your body, right? And most of it raises on a sensitivity and all these other issues. Usually, room temperature water is the best. Room temperature water, and yes, I know sometimes you could be thirsty. It's hot out there. You want something to cool your body, but don't do it all the time. Just once in a while.
Alrighty. So I'm hoping you understand this message better than me.
Okay.
Right? This one says, "Hi, well, my teeth already akatoita mango, the back ones. Ekumashure eye. I brush my teeth every day, but how do I go about it when you're at this stage? Because the scary part is achatorwadza chete sooner or later."
Can atoita mango come and we'll fill them in?
Okay.
Yes, that's it. Either if they're still in a good state where there's just sensitivity, it's not too much pain there, you can get a filling done before we start removing all of them.
Oh, okay. So
Yes.
just come in for a feeling.
A filling or maybe a root canal.
Alrighty.
Yes.
This one says, how best can I deal with bleeding gums?
Bleeding gums is a sign that your teeth have calculus around them. Right?
Alright.
It's a sign of gingivitis. Well, basically what it is, what we're talking about earlier, over time, there's plaque that develops around your teeth. So that starts an inflammation process around your gums. So when you're brushing your teeth, especially some so already you're causing that brushing bleeding. So maybe before tata a plaque, check your brushing technique. Are you not
Okay.
hurting your gums while you're brushing your teeth?
All right. And then this one is a true or false type of question.
Okay.
It says, "Hello there. Is it true that mouthwash is bad to use?"
Not all. Well, that's a bit tricky because now there are different types of mouthwash. There's medicated mouthwash, which will tell you to take, especially if you've got gum disease, right? And then there's everyday mouthwash like Listerine, and there are two school, like they're various, in the medical field, we always fight one over the other over the point that they want something, But at the end of the day, when you're using mouthwash, you need to understand some of the ingredients, anenga arimo. They might
Alright.
cause, if you use it constantly over and over again, it might lead to sensitivity, or it might cause staining of your teeth, especially in staining, because some of the mouthwashes actually cause staining on your teeth. So you can use it, but at the same time, it needs control. Because yes, with medicated mouthwashes, we use them for a limited amount of time.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, we've got a lot of questions here.
Okay.
Right, if you're just joining us with Star FM sounding good all the time, it is the Morning Galaxy, your mid-morning cruise into the stars, into the galaxy. And my name is DJ Eve, and in the building today, I'm joined by Dr. Kudzi. Can I call you Kudzi?
Yes.
Yes,
please.
and and she is a dentist. So we're talking about a happy mouth. So we're talking about your oral health, and yeah, we're taking questions right now. This one says ko unoita sei kana mazino achiramba achiora asi uchitozamawo kukwesha and stuff, ndakaitwa feeling but still akuramba achiora.
Right. Okay. I'll try to make it brief. The pane zvinhu zvakawanda zvinokonzeresa kuti mazino aore.
Okay.
Yes, we spoke about diet, right? We spoke about limiting my sweets, ana Fanta, ana Coke, and so there's so many things that lead to tooth decay, and other things are also my habits, lifestyle habits, like using drugs, like
Alright.
meth
Alright.
causes a lot of tooth decay, my rampant caries, and when we're naturally, because of our genes, let's blame it on biology, because of our genes,
Yes.
the tooth structure is not so strong. Like you notice pane vamwe vane mazino anenge ari brownish. It's not the extrinsic, but it's not extrinsic, but you can tell kuti ndo color emazino aya.
Alright.
Kuti they're yellowish, brownish inside, mamwe black.
Yes.
Right? So their top layer usually it's a bit weak. Right? So now when they're eating, whatever they do, they quickly the tooth naturally starts decaying at a faster rate compared to a normal healthy tooth. It's their genes. They can't do anything about it. That's why we say kuti shoniji, visit the dentist. That's the motto today.
Then this one says mazino angu anongofufunyuka richibva ratozodonha. So far I've lost 2 front teeth.
Achingofufunyuka. That's a sign of decay. Because
Okay.
anotanga pari padiki and then it progresses. Yeah, that's a sign of decay.
Then this one says, hi, ndine an 8-year-old boy ane buri in between mazino kumatadza saka mukabvisa decay inenge iri paburi iroro anorwadziwa zviri serious ndodii rinomunetsa akapakwesha. So wait, you decay
Alright.
mukubvisira kumba? No.
Yeah. Those are nice tarot. Some of the things we try doing at home, we shouldn't. So, my advice is, if they go to the dentist again, if you visit the dentist and they'll help in removing, then they'll assess. Because only 8 years, we're trying to keep them until at least they are 10 to 12 years, because my adult teeth are abuda. So if
Okay.
we remove those teeth and
Yes.
pano closer, now the back one ragara rabuda at 6 years, the adult tooth and so it will start moving forward, closing space for the other adult teeth that we need to come out.
Okay.
So it's best they visit the dentist now before zvaita waste zvekuti kutongobvisa, because muri kutotaura kuti mwana ari kurwadziwa nezino.
All right. Then this one says, I do brush my teeth when I wake up, after every meal, and before I sleep. But still, I have this bad breath. But sometimes I realize that when I have non-sweet stuff like cucumbers, carrots, etc., I realize that my breath doesn't smell bad for a long while. But once in a while, I had normal foods, especially sweet stuff, and Ish had bad breath surfaces earlier. Is it something to do with my digestive system or my stomach? Please help. This is coming from Jerry.
Okay. Before we go to GI, you only mentioned that you're brushing your teeth. Are you flossing? The toothbrush does not go in between your teeth,
Yes.
and food packs in between your teeth. And they'll notice maybe vatone mango or something ka fracture in between their teeth. So food can get impacted there and start fermenting. That's number 1. 2, are you scrubbing your tongue? Because if you notice white that's a sign that your tooth is actually dirty. It needs to be cleaned.
Okay.
Unless if they have thrush or candidiasis. But normally, if you clean and just scrub your tongue should be healthy pink.
Okay.
Yes. So before we look into GI, maybe, yes, I understand. Sometimes there are issues where maybe they've got regurgitative, they've got gastric issues, and sometimes that causes like calculator, like the acid comes back, and when it does that, calculator will get regurgitating, it comes back, and it causes bad breath, and
All right.
it happens. I'm not ruling it out, But
Okay.
before we go to the extreme, let's try the other techniques.
Okay. This one is kind of similar. It says, "Hi doc, I brush my teeth twice a day. Also use mouthwash, but I still have bad breath, and it seems they bleed a lot when I use mouthwash." Then they're also asking, "Is flossing for everyone?"
Flossing is for everyone. Flossing is for everyone. And at the same time, if you notice that the mouthwash you're using, it's causing, maybe check in on which mouthwash are you using, number one.
Alright.
Number two, you might need to reduce on the frequency. Because you might actually be, like what I mentioned, Kuti, some mouthwashes are too strong for your mouth. So the fact that you're using it all the time could actually be causing issues for you. Right?
All right. Ooh, we've got quite a number of messages in our time. Our time. This one says, "Hi dentist, and ndinagamre kumatadza rakarembera nyama on reku right. In January ndakambochekwa, now chinyama chiche chadzoka futi. Inga very problem here is coming from Munashe."
All right. Munashe, I think, okay, from what you're saying, there are many, things that could cause that. But the biggest one that I'm thinking is maybe your wisdom tooth is just coming out. And usually, panel wisdom tooth, if it's not standing, if it's impacted, that can cause what we call pericoronitis. So basically, the gingival flap that's around that wisdom tooth, it grows. Right?
Alright.
And there's so many, I know they're cleaning, try cleaning, like what they did before could remove the gum. But it will continue growing back. Because the thing is, the root cause, what's causing that gum to continue coming back is still there. So usually if it's a wisdom tooth, we then advise the patient that, because remember it's a pain and that gingival overgrowth. So I'm thinking if it's your wisdom tooth, then definitely you might need to consider taking it out.
Okay. Then this one says, "Took my child to the dentist at Chimera Mazino after observing kuti akaturikidzana and was told to relax achapanana space, but now mwana ane 11 years mazino aya akangodaro achazoita here toita sei hasina that beautiful smile."
Okay. So I guess kuturikidzana, it's like crowding.
Yes.
All right. So usually what happens is with children when they are growing up, why they said kutvamirire is because during the age from 8 to 11 years, we call it an ugly duckling stage. Children have the worst smiles at that time. Manengwani masaka, spaces. It's because their teeth are transitioning from baby teeth to adult teeth. That's why your dentist advised to say timbo mira. But if you see now, if you're concerned that that crowding is still there and then you might need to consider starting early intervention. Yeah, although we might need to, there's so many things they can do. Maybe we might consider doing braces.
Okay.
So they just need to visit their dentist and then they'll see what's the best way to go forward with the situation.
Alrighty. So a few more messages here, and then we'll wrap it up.
Okay.
Says, "Good morning. My son akabviswa mazino 2 epa front. I need 3 years after aona an episode. Ye masha yakazvibvisa zino. So now he is 6 years old and mazino aya asati amerana nasi. I just want to find out kuti achamerawo here or zvakatofarana since akazvibvisa ega."
They're only 6. Let's wait.
That's what I
They're
thought, like
only
8, 9.
Yeah. Maybe when they're 7 around, because usually some they'll come early. And I'm going to my 6 years after totanga kubuda. When we're 7, so let's wait. Magazona shika 8 or 9 asata buda
Then something.
Yes.
Hi, please. I would like to ask the doctor when we should be concerned about baby teeth coming out. My 9-month-old Sata Buddha, thanks.
Okay. Funny point there. I had my first teeth when I was 10 months.
Oh wow.
Yes. Every baby differs. Just be patient.
Okay.
Yes.
My 9-year-old daughter akabva mazino now akubuda acho mahombe and ari kutarangana. What's the best advice?
9 years. The baby teeth akabva and mama kubuda akatarangana.
And
Okay.
they are big is.
Okay, baby teeth naturally are smaller.
Okay.
Adult teeth are naturally bigger. So them being big, it's not a concern because that's how they're meant to be. But maybe the alignment, let's wait maybe akuma 10 years, 11 years, 12. If that then continues, then we have to consider visiting the dentist.
Right. Quick one, yeah. This
Okay.
one says, "Morning, DJ Even Doc. My 11-year-old has a red flesh over the gum, going over his tooth. What can it be?"
It's coming out.
Okay.
It's over the tooth, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's coming out. The
Alright.
tooth is coming out.
Okay.
Yes.
Then this one says, "Hi, kosoda inokurudzirwa kukwesha naye remazino."
Handisinombozvinzwa izvozvo. Handisikuda kuzvinzwa izvozvo because you're changing my pHs emkano. Handiti?
Okay.
Let's not do such
So
things.
soda, no.
Fluoridated toothpaste yakakwana yakadaro.
All right,
Yeah.
that's fine. So then I'm gonna ask you this. This I think we've seen it pakawanda in society, especially where mwana anozvarwa ane mazino. And then they are told kuti anzi torai shinda mudzure mazino mite say you can't let mwana ane mazino. And then I realized, because I actually then went and did a bit of research to find out, is there anything bad with mwana abuda azharwa ane mazino?
All right.
From a dentist's point, mwana
Point.
akazvarwa ane mazino, what's to happen?
No, that happens. It's we call it usually depending on the population and the country. It happens. It's there. It could be rare in some countries, but it happens. But let's not do it tega kumba.
Okay.
Because tuno move turi week atuna ma roots.
Yes.
Right. String try develop mwana maybe achiri mudumbu or within a few days after azharwa, right? So those don't do that mega kumba. It happens. Sometimes it's like mamwe macysts shimwe during mwana achifomwa in the stomach. So let's not try to do the
Do it at
treatments
home.
tega. Yes.
Don't try it at home. Right. So in closing, what are you doing to commemorate Oral Health Day? That's on the 20th of March, yeah?
Yes.
So
yes.
what are you doing?
All right. So basically this year we are launching a 3-year campaign theme.
Okay.
We were talking about it. A happy mouth is a happy body.
Okay.
That's the theme. So in relation to that, we are conducting oral health awareness programs in schools and churches. We've been going around all over the country, teaching, telling people how to brush your teeth, visiting the dentist and everything. And then also all government dental clinics, they're providing free consultation services till the 31st of March.
Oh, nice.
But then you have to pay for my other procedures, but it's just the consultation that's free.
That's free. Okay.
Yes. And then on the day, that's next week Wednesday, we are holding commemorations at Pardenyatwa Hospital.
Okay.
For this one, I'm super, super excited because
Alright.
we're going to have a march starting from Harare Gardens, Tichuya Tiriguchi, Kupari, Nema Drama Jorets from Girls High.
Oh,
so
nice.
I don't want to preempt, but just come prepared to enjoy the celebrations. That's all I'll say.
Right. And if people want to get in touch with you, do you have social media handles? Do you have a phone number you give out?
Well, you can follow me on my social handle on Instagram, KP Dental or Kuzai Petra Phiri.
So that's KP Dental on Instagram.
Yes.
Right. Dr. Kuzi, it's been nice having you here.
Thank you for having me.
It's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
So, right, this has been Wellness Wednesday, and with me in the building, her name is Dr. Kudzai Petra Phiri. She's a dentist, and she also holds a diploma in food nutrition and among other academic achievements. So, hey, you be good to yourself. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Be good to yourself. Be love, spread love, your love, and above all else, never stop being awesome. And always remember, there's enough room at the top, so don't settle for less. DJ Eve on Facebook, at DJ Eve _W on Instagram, at DJ Eve W on Twitter. So at 12, the TXO takes over. We are Star FM, sounding good all the time. You take your time with me. It's midday. It's time for the news.
Now